Buenos dias, familia. Everybody, welcome. If you can hear me, please give me a quick thumbs up. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Sorry if I sound kind of stuffy. My allergies are getting the best of me today. And I have a slight cough, but nothing to worry about. Just allergies / stress cough. But I'm good though. So you'll hear me cough from time to time, but nothing to worry about. Okay, cool. So everybody can hear me. Greetings, Roxana. Hello. Savannah, welcome. Elise, welcome. Galaxy Child, welcome. Elvia, welcome. Erika La Chulada Yala, welcome. Chiquita, I know you gotta go to work. Big shout out to Erika. Super hardworking woman. Really awesome at her job, but a master at baking. Titi Watts, hello. Saria Ortega, welcome. Debbie, welcome. John, Senor, welcome. Scott, welcome. Welcome. I'm gonna mute the music now. What color shirt am I wearing, everyone? Can we take a quick guess? What color shirt do you think I am wearing today? I sound like I'm wearing a gray shirt. Hello. Blue. Let's see. Orange, blue, or white. I thought Erika was saying I was wearing a mama bear shirt. I'm like, that'd be interesting. Roxana, pink. You mean salmon? Bright green. Okay, dark blue, jade. Sounds blue to me. Oh, do I sound sad or something? Gray. I sound like I'm wearing gray. I sound like I'm wearing blue. Oh man. Let's see. Black, yellow. All right, here we go. The big reveal. Dun dun dun. I am wearing. Boom. It's. Oh, it looks weird. It looks different there, but it's like a teal, like a blue, teal color. So if you guess blue, yes. Oh yeah, I just showered. I know you can't smell me through the screen, but I figured I'd shower. Bam, there it is. Wait. Almost got it. Boom, there it is. Perfect. Oh, I didn't turn on my essential oils today. Boom, got a red light over here. Got the blue light over on this side. I know Elise was cringing with the blue light when I first started using the blue light. Is this the one you just bought? Yes, this is the one I just bought. It's really nice. I bought 4 separate shirts now. So now I have a teal, I have a green, like a sort of like a, I don't know, forest green. And then I have a red, which looks pink, and a sort of dark gray shirt added to my wardrobe. Much needed. Smell-o-vision. Yeah, one day. You want to know what your grandpa used to smell like? Let's go over to the smell-o-vision. And then they all have a whiff of grandpa. And he smells like a man. Just kidding. I don't know what a man smells like. Probably musty and dirty. I smell like a forest. Forest green. Yeah, I smell forest green. All right, everybody. So welcome back to another Q&A with a former atheist. And today I wanted to talk about this question. Boom, right there. Why did I become an atheist? Why? ¿Por qué? Were there better tacos on that side? Was the carne asada tasting better? Nope. It was the same carne asada. same tacos, same burritos. They probably taste better on this side, actually. Well, just real briefly, and then I'll take some of your questions here too. But I do want to just answer that question to begin with, because it is important, I think, for people who are of faith to understand why someone becomes an atheist and the mentality that goes behind it. And it's going to get raw and it's going to get real, familia. And I might say some things that may be uncomfortable to you. I may say some things that you may not like, but it is important for me to speak openly and tell you exactly how I felt back then. And secondly, it's important for us to be able to know one another on that level. I have a saying: the grass is greener on the other side because they use different type of manure. That's right. They say the grass is greener on the side that gets watered every day, right? So, familia, water your grass daily. Jade gives you a forehead slap on that one, John. But yeah, okay. So, just to real quickly, we're going to begin with that, and then I'll take some of your questions, okay? And remember, remember that the focus here is to gain insight into what an atheist thinks like, and I'll give you insight into that. If there's any particular situation that you're running into with atheists or non-believers, or if you have someone who you want to reach and you're not sure how, I could probably shine some light on that, and then help us communicate better with one another. All right, so quick story. Some of you have already heard this story, but I'm gonna illustrate it just a little differently. Yesterday we heard the song with Dante Bowe, "Take Me Back," right? And we talked about how God is fully present, right? And we all believe in that, right? If we're in agreement with that, give me like some hearts, maybe. Yeah, let's go with hearts. Give me some hearts. If we're all in agreement that God is fully present all the time, no matter what, right? John, thank you, Señor. Thank you, Caballero. So we're in agreement that that's what it is, right? Now, as a man of faith back then, before I became an atheist, I had experiences with what I now call the Great Spirit. Why do I call it the Great Spirit? Because, well, God is great, right? If we're in agreement with that, continue the hearts. And at the time, I was having these little personal encounters, if you will, little embraces, little moments, as Elise calls it, God's wink, like just saying, "Hey, I'm here," right? However, I was having a conversation with Anne and Linda earlier, and sort of had a visual of a lantern where I had my spirituality, my spiritual fire was on. But anytime I would say, "Hey, get this," every once in a while that fire flickers, and it's great. And then other people were like, "That's weird. That fire isn't supposed to flicker. It says here that it's not supposed to do that." And little by little, I started to question my experiences, my relationship. I started to question my relationship with God. And then I began to ask questions like, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you now? Like, where are you when I need you the most? Like, I need you." It's not that I wanted to show them, like, "Look, this light is about to flicker," and then have God prove himself, because I know God doesn't work that way. But the question was, where are you? Where are you? And in yesterday's song, it spoke about how like if you ever feel like God is not present, it's because you've actually walked away and hid, right? And for me, that's exactly what happened. I thought that I was in the full presence of God. And then someone who I admired and looked up to pointed to the idea that wasn't God, that I was being misled somehow. And then I began to question my faith. And then before you know it, I disconnected from God. Figuratively speaking, right? God didn't disconnect from me, but my attention went somewhere else. My attention went into like the question of whether or not God was there. And God's like, I don't have to prove myself to you, but I know that when you're ready, you're going to see me again. So my attention went away. And the reason why I became an atheist was because I put my full trust in people, and the people that I trusted betrayed me. They made me feel stupid. Have you ever felt like that? Like, has anybody ever made you feel stupid? Now, some of you have stronger faith than I did. And at the time I walked away, I just couldn't really face the music. I really couldn't face their version of God, that God would somehow not speak to me in this way, right? And so I became an atheist because I was made fun of. And I came back because I reconnected. I reconnected on a different level. And this was, as an atheist, what I was really looking for was a an intellectual understanding of God. I wanted God to be proven, right? So I wanted evidence, right? That's very heavy on the atheist side, is wanting evidence that God is there. And so, we could illustrate that with, or we can contrast it or give an explanation that I've heard this said before, like, well, do you see the wind, right? Oh, actually, that was in The Chosen, where it says, do you see the wind? Well, like, no, you see the effects of the wind, right? And I think God works out in the same way. We see the effects of the Great Spirit, but I don't want to say we don't see the Great Spirit, but I do believe strongly that the Great Spirit is not a thing that you're going to see, taste, hear, or touch, really. It is definitely something that you're going to experience. It's an experiential thing. Experiential? If that's not a word, it's a word now. And of course, we question when someone mixes up the image that we have of God. When somebody makes us question something that we know to be true in ourselves, it's a scary thing. It is a scary thing. And I know Erika mentioned to me, and we had a really long conversation about it last night as well, that people who don't believe, that's what they want you to do. They want to make you feel stupid. They want to make you feel stupid. But here's the interesting thing, okay? Because like in atheism, we believe, I say we, but they, I don't want to say they or we as humans, as human atheists, we believe that everything came from nothing, right? And nothing. But there was a big bang, right? It was all dark. Get this. It was all dark, right? Everything was dark. And then boom, there was light. Sound familiar? But for them, nothing made that, right? And it kind of goes against what we naturally already know, that everything has this sort of cause and effect, right? Everything has a cause and effect. And science can put to the test, can put this to the test, that something always causes something else to happen, right? The ripple effect or the butterfly effect or all these other different theories and stuff, right? But to believe that everything came from nothing, well, that's faith too. That's a form of faith as well, right? So yeah, we can always argue that. So to go back to the question, I became an atheist because I stopped trusting what I already knew in my heart was true by replacing it with somebody else's image or somebody else's truth. And then the two truths didn't match. And so I decided to step away from all truth and just come back and find my own way, if you will. So that's where I am. Am I Christian now? No, I'm not a Christian now. I don't say that rudely. I hope that didn't come across rudely, but no, I don't call myself a Christian now. No. Let's see. Any other questions? Let me take a question now. Let me see. I know that Roxana sent me some questions earlier. I can take a look at them now and see. Excuse me. Okay, so she sent me the passage John 5:12-13, and then at the end of it, asked me that how did I see it back then as an atheist, and how do I see now? Is there life after death? Do I believe in a hell or heaven or eternal life? Excuse me. Okay, so the question about life after death, it just depends on a lot of things. As an atheist, of course, you don't think of life after death. You just think this is it. This is what you get. You're a byproduct of just, germs and bacteria coming together, forming what you call you, and then somehow some form of intelligence develops and you think and you live your life, and then when you're done, your body's done and that's it. You don't have a soul, you don't have a spirit, there's no such thing as that, and you're done, I never really fully believed that entirely, but I saw tons and tons and tons of lectures and other things that taught me a little bit about it. Excuse me. But when it comes to like believing in heaven and hell, of course, then I didn't believe in heaven and hell. And today, my most honest question is, I don't know. My most honest question is, I don't know if I believe in a heaven or if I believe in hell. I do believe in heaven. I don't think that I believe in hell. And my logic to that, or my reasoning for that, is almost the same as it was when I was an atheist. Because when somebody would tell me, aren't you afraid you're going to go to hell? And I would use by the Bible really to illustrate. And I'd say, do you know the 7 days of creation? And they say, yes, I do. And I go, okay, can you tell me on which day hell was created? And they couldn't tell me. So like my point was, how can I believe in something that you yourself aren't even, that the Bible itself doesn't even say was created to begin with, right? So I personally do not, for the current moment, I don't acknowledge a place called hell, and I definitely try my best not to even acknowledge what you call the enemy, because I stay in the light. I really do stay in the light. And when you're in the light, what shadow threatens you? That's my philosophy, if you will, if you want to call it that. Am I agnostic? No, I'm not agnostic. Agnostic, I believe, if I remember correctly, it comes from the word agnosia, which means like to come through knowledge. It means knowledge or wisdom. And I don't think that like agnostic people can really truly experience God. They might say like, oh, I believe in a higher power and I believe in a creator, but it's still sort of like intellectual. It's an intellectual thing, and I don't think that God can be met intellectually. Otherwise, it just becomes this thing that is impermanent. It's not lasting. It's an idea. It's an image. It's like creating an image of God. So, especially one that you're comfortable with. But when it comes to, do you think or believe that there is a Mother Earth? No, no. I mean, I know that well, yes and no to a certain degree. I don't believe in a Mother Earth as like most. I guess you can call them, I don't know what to call them because I don't like to use labels, but like most agnostic people or pagans, if you want to call it that, or whatever it is. But I do believe that the earth there's a sacredness to everything. If God, I'm going to back up a little bit. For me, one of the most important things that I lead with, other than love and peace and spreading that love and peace and kindness, is that the three aspects of God are real: omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. And if I am going to believe that God is omnipresent, meaning fully present everywhere, and is fully present in everything, and so therefore there is a sacredness to the earth. There is a sacredness to the thing that sustains us. Otherwise, why would it be created in a way that we live by eating off of it, by drinking from it? So that's where I am. So there's no like, it doesn't go beyond that. It's just still like, feeding off of God, even in that way, if you will. And well, with regards to eternal life, like I believe. Oh, okay. So this might throw a little bit of a little wrench in there, but I've come to a point where I don't believe that there's such a thing as my life. There's no my life, and there's no your life. So like Elvia, Erika, John, Julene, Jade, Dave, who just came in, welcome. There's no such thing as your life. This life isn't yours. Yeah, true, it was a gift, right? It was given to you, but it's not really yours. Otherwise, you'd forever hold your body, right? You'd hold on to it, but you can't hold on to it. So therefore, it's not yours. And so whose life is it? For me, there's only one life. There's only one life that exists throughout the entire cosmos, existence, universe, whatever you want to call it, on all levels, macro and micro. And it's sustaining all of that, and it belongs entirely and completely to that. that force, to God. So that's where I am with that. So do I believe in an eternal life? Yes. Do I believe in a death? Well, that depends. If I identify with my body, then yes, there is a death for me. If I identify with the eternal, then there is no death for me. There is just the eternal. I'm not sure how that's going to be taken, but that's the answer to that. Any other questions? What do you think about these statements? There is no God, there is no hell, and there is no devil. Well, I'm cautious about statements that are like absolutes, like there is no. I question everything. As an atheist, you do think that way. There is no this, there's no that. I'm sure of it. I'm certain. Mama Bear, thank you so much for the super chat. I love you too. Thank you. And for me now, I don't like to think in absolutes. I'm careful with like generalizations, and I'm thankful for. I'm mindful and careful about thinking in that way, because then it closes the mind off to discovering what's in the mystery. Otherwise, if you're only comfortable in your little circle and you only know what you know, you don't leave room for the mystery. And I think that's where God is for me, is found in the mystery. Ray of love from the sun. Let's see what else is going on over here. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? Are you implying that it's not true? I'm not sure if that's implying that it's not true. If Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? I think I know what you're saying. I'm not. Well, yeah. I guess I don't understand what you're saying. Meaning that if evidence were to present itself that it's absolute truth, would I? Yeah, of course I would. But I don't think that's exactly what I'm looking for, though. I'm not searching for like evidence that proves that it's true. I'm actually more on that side than I am on the non-believer side. If you could believe that, like I'm more on the side that I agree with a lot of the teachings, and I agree with a lot of the what's the word I'm looking for? I guess ideas, concepts, the beliefs. I'm with it a lot. I'm just in a place where I'm not calling myself Christian. Let's see, just in, how do you describe your life when you were an atheist? How did I describe my life? I'm not sure on what level or what do you mean exactly, but if you're meaning like how I explain life, if that's what you mean, again, it just goes back to the general idea that atheists believe, which is I came from nothing and I'm going to go back into nothing, right? But if you want to know how I described it in terms of like the quality of life, I was angry. I was really angry. I was upset. I was afraid of a lot of things. I was doubtful, unsure of myself, rude, sarcastic. I still am sarcastic, but not in a cynical way. I love sarcasm. Like Dallas said in the interview that I had with him, he said, sarcasm is my love language. So that's it. Do you believe the reactions you're doing is God calling out to you? Interesting choice of words. I could see how, like, because it says non-Christian, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't put non-Christian in any of the videos I've done lately, and I'll get into that if you want. But because it says non-Christian, I think a lot of people get hung up on that phrase, and they take it to mean non-believer, and so they're saying, well, God is out there calling me, drawing me, and what I would love people to understand is that it's God is back here for me, like pushing me out into the world and saying, hey, excuse me, learn about this song, learn about this music, interact with these people. I didn't start Discord, but if you don't know what Discord is, there's an app called Discord where all of the community not all, but a big portion of the community that has come about from this channel are joining that app. It's absolutely free. You can download it on your phone or your computer. And I bring John up, okay, because he's the one that actually created it and invited some people and practically told me, hey, there's this app. We're going to start prayers for the people who want prayer around the world, different chat rooms, excuse me, help encourage each other, right? Thank you, Lizette Hernandez, for the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that. And and so a whole different level of this community has built around people who think the same, who believe the same things, and people who don't believe at all even, and have come together to find, unity, to come together in a time where the world has separated us, right? Everybody's in their homes, not interacting with their local community, but we started a global community of people who have shared stories with one another. I mean, we've laughed, we've cried, we've done everything on Discord, and it's such a beautiful platform, right? I forgot what my point to all this was. What was the question to begin? Reacting. And so it's not so much that God is drawing me, but that God is pushing me. Okay, because I was having a conversation with Erika, and then I mentioned this earlier to Linda and to Anne Horton, that this Q&A is a little nerve-wracking to me, because I'm exposing myself and I'm letting you all know what my inner thoughts are and my experiences, and it's scary to me to a certain degree, and I don't know why, but that I'm just doing what I'm being pushed to do, because I feel like there's something that's going to connect here where we're going to, I guess this is it, Anne and Linda, that we're all going to light up our lanterns. Okay, Christians are going to light up their lanterns, their spiritual lanterns, and create a space where it's going to be comfortable for someone whose lantern was shut off by the world to come and say, can you light me up? I've been turned away. The church turned me away. The church made fun of me. The church scared me. The church used me. The church abused me. The church hurt me. All of that. And it turned off my light. And I've been in the shadows for so long. And will you please light me up? And this is not the moment to say, yeah, the Bible says this. No, come. Right? Come. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Here's some coffee, some virtual coffee. You want to go in a private message on we can pray about it. There's private prayer rooms on Discord. Right? All that good stuff. And I want people who are atheists, who were hurt by the church, to feel comfortable to just listen. That's it. Not to be brought up that they're sinners, not to be brought up that God loves them yet. I say that yet. Not that their sins or their sinful natures are brought up, but that they can have someone that they can talk to that won't judge them and will just listen. Just listen. So that the lantern can be lit up and the hurt can begin to be consumed by that fire. As I know that happened with me, privately. And that's it. So, yes, I tell people, like this video, follow, subscribe. Yes, do that. And it's not for me. It definitely isn't for me. It's because when we have these types of conversations, we're going to reach a lot more people, and we're going to light up this world. That's my goal. If I do one thing before I die, I know that that's what I'm going to do. And what happens after I die, that's none of my business. I trust fully. I trust fully that God's going to take care of me. Fully. And if for some reason I'm not meant to be up there, then I'm not meant. But I trust completely, fully. And I come on here and I expose myself and I open up my heart to all of you. And I encourage you all to open up your hearts to people who you've shut your heart to in the past. And encourage you to call that person who you haven't spoken to in a really, really long time. To send a letter. To send a text, send an email, send a picture. All of that, familia. All of that. And just trust. Just trust. Fully, completely. I was having this conversation with Erika and I illustrated I painted this picture. It's like when you're a child and your father puts you, or your mother puts you on top of the counter and says, jump. Now, you know you can trust your dad and your mom. You know that you can trust. You know that when you jump, you know that the father is not going to be like, psych, and let you fall flat on your face, right? But it's still scary. It's still scary because you don't trust yourself. You don't know whether or not your legs are going to make you jump far enough for your dad to catch you. You know that your dad will catch you, but you don't know if you can trust yourself to jump that far. What if you jump short and you fall on your face, not because the father, but because of you? Because of you. So we need to take a big step back, light up our lantern, show it into the darkness, and just trust. Trust. Take the jump. Savannah says, I think you're fighting a spiritual battle. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Everything is spiritual for me. Jump into the arms of the Father. Yeah, exactly. So in the Bible, Jesus says that there is a hell and a judgment after we die. One goes to heaven and hell based on his relationship to God. You need Christ for that. By the way, hell was created for Satan. Well, my answer to that, and of course it's going to come out like cynical. Like, it was created for Satan. I'm not Satan. It wasn't created for me, right? If it was created, but anyway, like that's that answer. But honestly speaking, we talk about what the Bible says, that there's a hell and there's a judgment day. Yeah, that's true. Maybe I guess my most comfortable answer is maybe. That's not a yes and that's not a no. Okay. Maybe, but my relationship with God is far more important, and I'm not afraid of that judgment. I can honestly and openly say that I'm not afraid of it. Any other questions? Yes, Leonardo had done this thing. Oh, One World Music, shout out. He's talking about the 10,000 Reasons, which is coming up tomorrow. It's a song that I reacted to. I was going to say something about it, but I'm just going to let you all watch it. Let's see. He will be with my son and I'm not worried. Yeah. I think one of the things with regards to, like, say, prayer, for me there's two parts to the prayer, to prayer. You just reminded me of that, Prue, with what you said. Oh, not Prue, sorry, Little Skittle. There's two parts to, say, like a prayer. And the one part is the intellectual, the asking, the putting into words what it is that you want manifested, or what you want God to come through for you. The other part is the sort of emotional part of it that comes along with it. And if one is saying the words, please help me, for example, please help me with my health, but emotionally your prayer is opposite of that, which means like you're afraid that you're going to die, meaning you're not fully trusting, that's the trust aspect of it, that this is going to happen, then your prayer is incomplete. It's contradictory. But as opposed to when you pray for health, say health, and your emotional side is grateful that the health is already on its way. I think that's a much more powerful form of prayer than just simply just asking out of this anxiety or fear. Just wanted to say that. So trusting is a big deal, I guess is what I'm saying. Let's see. What encouragement do you have for those who were hurt by the church at one point or another and are too scared to go back because they don't want to get hurt again? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Well, the encouragement that I would have is, oops, where's my phone? I'm sorry. Is be still. Be still. Like, mentally, you're overthinking things. Trusting again is hard. It's really hard. And I think what you need to do first is reconnect with God first, because before the church came, God came first. Right? Can we say that? Before any church was ever built, God was there first. The churches were built for God, not the other way around. Not the churches weren't built. So, I mean, God wasn't built after the churches. You know what I mean? But my encouragement would be to be still and reconnect with what you already know you are. Reconnect with what you already know is connected to that. As an atheist, I mean, if you've gone so far to call yourself an atheist, then, you know, there's really not much you could say. You can't really talk about God with an atheist because an atheist has already rejected the idea of God, right? Right? And so there's really no encouraging there. There's really having an argument with an atheist is a waste of time, to be honest. It's a waste of time because you have to bring that atheist first back to on a human level. You have to bring him back to being human first, and then work back to his original connection with everything, with his source, if you will, which he calls the Big Bang, and bring him back to the darkness, to the light, to the darkness where the light came from. Anyway, but encouraging someone who's been hurt would just be like, just to be still. Don't think about what happened. That was just that experience. It was just single out that experience. Is just that church is what hurt you, or that person, singling out that person. It was that person who hurt you, not God, right? And then realizing that God's always there, is always fully present, and takes care of you even if you are away from the church. And then maybe point out like Anne often points out when we have our conversations, where the Bible says that where two or more people connect, God is there, right? And so perhaps be in communion with that person and say, well, let's you and I connect. We don't have to go to a church. We can connect fully present. We can connect now. Let's see. And when our emotional side is thankful in anticipation of answered prayer, that is faith. Being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Oh, wow. Okay. Hebrews 11:1. Cool. Excellent. Thank you for that. And I love how every time almost every time that I say something, you're like, oh, that reminds me of this, and you pull it from the Bible. That's cool. People will let you down, and unfortunately, people are the church. They're imperfect. God is perfect. That's why you have to know the Bible and seek God's face. He will never let you down. This is true. People. Just people in general. I mean, people in general will hurt you. Some people will hurt you intentionally, others unintentionally. Some people actually hurt you out of love. They believe that what they're doing is loving you, without realizing that they're actually hurting you. So, be still is a good start. Being still, completely still. Sometimes even, I'll tell you this much, sometimes even just being still, even if you don't want to go to the church, sometimes just being still, in that stillness, they reconnect. They will reconnect. If they allow themselves to be still enough. Still in which way? Mentally still, emotionally still, and also physically. So. John. Hilarious. Let's see. Have you let go? Have you let go and forgiven the one who made you turn from God? Yes. One of them is actually a family member who I love. I absolutely love. Every time I see him, I give him just the biggest hug, and I tell him that I love him, and he tells me he loves me too, and he still tries to pull me in his direction, and I'm just still in his presence. The other person is actually a priest, and I don't know. I've let go of what would happen, and I forgive him because he didn't understand what was really going on with me. But no hard feelings, you know. I just know that the Catholic Church is not for me. I know that for sure. I know that that's definitely a place where I will not be returning. Not out of like anger anymore, of course, but out of just this inner knowing, I guess you could say, an inner knowing that says, yeah, I'm not. That's not where my truth is. Let's see, what else? I think I missed a question here. How do you suggest talking with an atheist who rejects God's existence due to the existence of suffering and cruelty in the world? My sister is a vegan, and this is her sticking point. Okay. Well, as I said a little bit ago, there's really no point in arguing, right? So, but if we're not talking about an argument, we're talking about just having a normal conversation. I think the movie The Shack, and I'm sorry if you feel something negative about The Shack. Oh, Carrie, thank you. I missed your super chat, but thank you for the super chat. This is on behalf of all the people who are coming at you. Buy a taco. Oh, I can buy a couple of tacos with that. Thank you, Mama Bear. Love you. Love you for that. Thank you. So yeah, if we're talking about just having a normal talk, in The Shack, when the main character was saying, what about my daughter? Like, where were you when that was going on? And Papa says, well, I think you misunderstood. I think you misunderstand the mystery. And they show a glimpse at her wrist, right? And she had the mark, which to me points to the fact that, like, even in Jesus's most loneliest time, right? He walked that. He carried the cross himself, right? All on his own. Nobody helped him. He was nailed to the thing, and he was up there all by himself, right? Nobody else was with him, right? And you would think, like, and even Jesus there said, like, why have you forsaken me? Meaning, why are you not here? And to me, that pointed out to the idea that, like, no, you're wrong. I lived that with you. You never went through that by yourself. And so you say, like, we're stuck on the cause and effect here. So you remember I said earlier that an atheist will think in terms of cause and effect, right? They believe in that, cause and effect. But they believe blindly in the faith that everything that exists came from nothing. And having that conversation as to why does God allow all this fear and all this anger and hatred and stuff, that's still something, honestly, that's something that I still, to the day, I have my questions, okay? Because if you want to think about it, like, this was one of my most famous arguments as an atheist was, okay, well, let's think about this. God, Satan was up there in heaven, and he fell. And out of all the stars in this universe, and out of all the planets just in this solar system alone, God put him on Earth? Why would he do that? Why would he play with his children that way? Why would he hurt his children this way, right? But I didn't understand that then. I understand this more now, but it's still kind of one of those questions. Like if I could be in front of God, like, up there, it'd be like, or out there, or in there, or in here, wherever. I'd be like, hey, I got a question. I'm sure he's gonna have a great answer. I'm sure there's a great answer for it. I'm sure that there's a great answer. but I just want to ask. These are the questions you want to ask. So maybe I would say just let the atheist get all those questions out. The best thing you could say is you know what, those are really good questions. I don't know. That'll throw them off, because I think there's nothing worse for an atheist than a person than a Christian who has an answer for everything. And then when they run out of answers, they say, well, God works in mysterious ways. And then it's just like, what is it? Like that's not an answer at all, right? But to say to an atheist, like, you know what, that's a really good question. I don't have an answer to it, but if you like, I can get back to you on that. And really go and do your research. Because now you're meeting that atheist on an intellectual level as well, which is dangerous too, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I think Erica's going to work now. All right, you get to have a good day. Smile, even though you're wearing a mask. Smile. And let your light shine. And light up those lanterns out in this cold world that we live in. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, or I hope that gives you some kind of perspective. Yeah, the humility to say I don't know. Yeah, a lot of times we want to pretend that we know, right? Like, oh, I know, and then we say that. So, and read some books about tacos. That's right. Let's see. Let's see. Any other questions? My goal here, familia, is that we begin to not have our guard up and to put the weapons down on both sides. But mostly, I'm talking about on the Christian side, where you have your Bible and you have your knowledge about Scripture. That we put all that down for a little bit. Okay, I'm not saying it's useless. I'm just saying put it down for a little bit, and listen. That's what the world needs right now. They need to listen. That's why YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all these other platforms are so important to us, because it gives us a way of saying something. And now we're used to speak, but we're not used to listen. And so listening is important. Julene, how are you, Leo? You're probably not going to see this anyway. Well, I am. Let's just leave it at that. I am. You have ears to hear. Yeah. You see, you have eyes, but do not see. You have ears, but do not hear. Familia. Yeah. And they say that's why God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that you can listen more than you speak. But yeah, I think the art of listening, and something beautiful that's going to come out of all this, familia, is that as we could talk about evolution, okay, but not evolution is in terms of we coming from monkeys, but how we are evolving as human beings. Okay, yes, we are evolving. We've evolved in the sense of growing, and what this is going to do, familia, is it's going to make us more emotionally intelligent, which I think is lacking. Okay, which is why I think a lot of people are coming out and being very angry with the way that they express themselves, right? Expressing themselves loudly as they possibly can. I'm not wearing my mask, and you guys are idiots for wearing your masks. And anyway, I'm not going to get into all that, but we're loud because we yearn, I think, we long for understanding, and we want to be heard. And I think it's time for us to listen to. So if somebody wants to talk loudly, just listen. It's the best thing you could do. I think you meant talk about it. Yes, that's what I meant. Talk about it. So Julian, yeah, I'm good. I'm actually good. I'm always good. A little bit of a sinus thing going on because the weather is changing here where I live. it's hot and then it's cold in the evening, and then it's dusty and windy at some parts of the day, and then I inhale that stuff, and so hence that little tiny little annoying cough that I get every once in a while. But I am taking my meds. When I read my Bible, I am listening, Anne says. That's great. I have the same ideology about arguing with my 8-year-old. Never argue back. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, man, okay. I had my moments. One of the things that that really bothered me when I was having my discussions with the Christians was when they would turn to that phrase that says don't cast your pearls into swine. And it's like, that's really offensive. That's really mean. You're calling me swine. Like, wow, you say God loves me, but what about you? Why can't you love me? That was harsh. That's something harsh to say. If I can encourage you not to do something, is don't do that. Don't call people swine. Praying you will be soothed and refreshed, Leo. Thank you, Prue. Appreciate that. I am. I showered right before this, and one thing I did, crank up the heat and breathe in all that good steam. I'm not going to say what happens afterwards, but yeah, just releasing a lot of stuff. And then yeah, I could breathe a lot better, feel a lot better. I'm taking some allergy medicine, Claritin, and then I do some nasal sprays, some first like cold and allergy congestion relief, and it helps out. It really does clear some stuff out. I don't think it hit me as bad as it did last year, but I'm a lot better now. Okay, cool. Any other questions before my microphone gives out? Let's see. Anything else? Great questions, by the way, about how to talk to an atheist. Different situations. I've said before that the best thing you could do for an atheist is show him God's love. And I think that's a good answer for the person who was hurt by the church as well. Whoever asked that question, I forgot who asked that question. But how do you talk to someone who was hurt by the church? You just show them God's love. Remind them what God's love feels like. Because at some point they knew. Like I said in yesterday's video, we all can recall a time where we were kids, where the world was just beautiful, and we were curious about things, and we were encouraged to ask questions. And then at some point we ask a question, and then we were laughed at, and so we stop asking questions. And if we can bring people back to those, take them back to their first love. What a beautiful song. I'm going to be listening to that probably the whole weekend as well. Okay, so yodeling 3ti, cool, says, I have a friend who for a few years has changed his beliefs from Christian to agnostic, and I would talk to him about it, and I didn't always give him good answers. Talk about it, and then you would always give him good answers. Let's see. Oh, it's continued here. As I am still discovering the complete truth myself, and I completely agree with you that when you don't know the answer, it's best to say you don't know and trying to figure it out, right? Because then you come across as a know-it-all, and then you may come across kind of condescending too sometimes, and that's not good. That's not good at all to do. I encountered a ton of hurt in the Catholic Church. Very grateful I actually met the Lord later in my life, who he really is. Good. Lexi, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah. I don't know why. The Catholic Church is beautiful. I mean, I'm a fan of architecture, and the architecture in some of the Catholic churches is just very impressive, incredibly impressive. I don't know where they went wrong. One of the things that I held, like a grudge that I held after I left the church, was after I had my encounter and I wanted to reconnect and understand how the world believes in God, and then looking at what happened, like say in Mexico, where the Catholic Church replaced all of the Mayan temples and the things that they did to people, and their history just completely erased and wiped out, and anyone caught speaking their native tongue was killed. Things like that, that I really don't understand. Things that I really don't agree with and I don't like that people did in the name of God. Same here in America, with the Native Americans. Just bad things, But I don't know. I guess when people are involved, it gets tricky. It gets really tricky. Really, really tricky. It's what people do, using God's word to fit their agenda. That's right. Making God small. Yeah, especially if there was gold involved, right? Like, hey, take us to your gold. And then killing them for the gold. Things like that. Just that. What was your family's reaction to your atheism? Did you have anyone who was truly praying for you? Yes. My grandmother, my mother as well. But there was much more scolding than there was loving interactions, I guess. I think it was more strange for them to accept that I had a connection with God again, but it wasn't through the Catholic Church. Then they were surprised that I was actually like atheist. So I don't know what was worse. I don't know if it was worse that I was an atheist with like the moment that I shared that I was an atheist, or if it was worse that I did believe in God, but I wasn't Catholic. So, yeah, there's all that. Are you still listening to atheist music? Atheist music. Wow, I never considered it atheist music. But I guess if you consider like bands like Slipknot and like people, yeah, I do listen to it. I just don't I don't listen to it with the same amount of anger as I did before. I just like to rock out to all those heavy beats, heavy rhythms in the music and stuff, but not as much as I used to. Not really nearly as much as I used to. Yeah, Bruce says, God's like, ladies, I answered your prayers. That's right. What else do you want from me? I don't know if you have yet, but you should do a video on Shane and Shane, Though You Slay Me. Yes, that's up. I did that a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, maybe. Yeah, look it up. I did it. There's a Christian hating music, like a Satan. No, I never listened to any of that stuff. I never really liked, even as an atheist, I never really liked. I'm very neutral, to be honest. I was neutral. I was never at the point where I was. Yes, I was angry, and yes, I like to argue with Christians, but I was never like yeah, I'm gonna follow the darkness, and I was never Marilyn Manson. In other words, where I was like the anti all that. So yeah, I never got to that point. Let's see. When I was young, people threw around the word Christian a lot. I wanted to be more like Christ, so when I became one, I called myself a Christian. Love that here. The ladies are gone. Oh, the labels are gone. Oh, cool. Yeah, so that's one of the things where labels are just like. I really like. If I could connect with a label, it would be the follower of the way. I like that. I really do, because, as you said, like Christian to some people is Saint Francis, and Christian to other people is like Westboro. Like, ooh, dangerous. Just dangerous. So, and then it's like, what was Christ? Christ was Jewish, right? So, I don't know. Should we be Jewish instead? Who knows? But I find that not having a label is much more fitting for me. It's much more flexible. I can speak to anyone. I'm like, oh, you're an atheist. Oh, no, nope, I'm not. And to atheists, I can speak about the Greeks. Oh, you're one of those Christians. Nope, I'm not actually. Oh, okay, whatever. So I can go. I'm flexible in that way. Can I call you Ian for short? Yeah, Mary, can Prue call you Ian for short? That sounded weird. It was not supposed to sound like Satan is divine. No, probably not. Let's see. What else? Yeah, that's another interesting thing. Like being an atheist means you don't believe in anything. You don't believe in God, and you don't believe in Satan either. But I never understood like not being Satanist, but yeah, it's still kind of like, yeah, it was like But yeah, it means that you don't believe in anything. You don't believe in any theology really. I love scripture that says the fields are ripe and the workers are few. So act like you are God and determine when the harvest is ready to be picked. One of my favorites. Oh, John. coming in hot like Lecrae and Demoneo. John is coming in hot with the sarcastic scripture. I love it, John. By the way, I encourage you to keep that up. That really brightens up our day, and it teaches us all a really important lesson in a very funny way. Satan's atheists don't believe in Satan either. Yeah. So and I couldn't comfortably call myself agnostic either, because I did believe in God and the Trinity as well. So would you use the term Christ-like, and what does it mean to you? I would use the term Christ-like. However, I also wouldn't use it, because if I said like I just want to be Christ-like, like to some people are like, well, you can't walk on water, you can't turn water into wine, that might turn into that. So again, like it's like, why even use that, but like the follower of the way, that's like, if I don't mind, I wouldn't mind doing that. What about movie? I don't know what that is. I feel like I'm missing context. Cool. Have you spoken to any atheists who are now followers of Christ about their reasons for believing? Might be interesting. Yes, I have, Lexi. I have. And what I've run into is people who, again, they became believers because they were converted, not transformed. I had a conversation with Elise earlier today about what that means, right? And I think this is one thing that like a conversation that I had with someone about the gentleman Ray Comfort. If you all know who Ray Comfort is, right? Living Waters, I think, is his channel. And he rides around on a bike with his puppy, or drives around. I don't know if he's driving or riding, but I've mostly seen him on his bike with a puppy, with a really cute dog, by the way, who wears glasses. But he makes me feel very uncomfortable, and I could tell that he makes other people feel uncomfortable. He has a very witty way of cornering people intellectually into admitting that they're sinners, and that God doesn't, want that, but that God somehow has made a way for them to not feel bad, or not, to be saved. And if they would only admit that they're sinners and then give themselves to Christ, then they would be saved. Is that something you'd be interested in? And then they corner them intellectually. This is intellectual bullying, really, is what it is. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's spiritual bullying. You're intellectually cornering someone to admit something, and you're not leaving them any room but to take that way. You're forcing them into the way. And what you have is a dangerous person who's probably going to repeat the same, but they're going to do it in a very mean way, like ruin it. They're going to ruin it for people, and what they're eventually going to do is draw people away from God more than they do, push them towards God. And so what we want is transformation. You want somebody to experience God, not intellectually believe in God. That's my 2 cents about that. Thoughts on this verse? He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Okay, I'll break that down, I guess, into pieces. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Okay. For me, I think back about like my definition of beauty is that beauty is when I am not, meaning when I'm distracted by ideas and beliefs and concepts about what is beautiful, I can really truly experience beauty. But I don't know what I could say about the rest of it, which beauty in its time makes everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, meaning there's something inside of us in the human heart that is eternal, right? Or set himself even in our hearts. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Now, when we think about words like fathom, we go into the realm of intellectual understanding, and so of course we can never fathom, because our intellectual understanding is very limited. It's extremely limited, And so if we can never fathom what God has done from beginning to end, it's because we ourselves, our mind it has a beginning and an end, but it's much shorter than the ultimate beginning and ultimate end. That is, eternal in both ways, right? Eternal beginning and eternal ending in the other direction. I don't know if that answers that in any way, but yeah. Let's see, what else? Two kinds of Christians, one says they believe and the other follow the commandment in John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandments. Yeah. I don't know why, even the most I think I heard someone say that there's all these commandments, right? But that Jesus or someone, correct me if I'm wrong, someone reduced them to two, which was love God with all of your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength. And the other is to love your neighbor as yourself, right? Perfect. And you could even reduce that to even just one commandment, which is love. Just love, right? So how can I love my neighbor as myself if I don't love myself? To love them, I have to understand them. And how can I understand my neighbor if I don't even understand myself? Right? And how can I love God with all my mind if my mind is disturbed? How can I love God with all my soul if my soul is disturbed? It's tainted, it's nasty, it's skunky. And how can I love God with all my strength when I am weak? So there's some fixing. There's something that says, hey, I need to first go inside of myself and fix a couple of things. I need to be still. I need to be mindful. Clear my mind out of all the impure thoughts. With all my resources. Cool. Cleanse my mind, cleanse my emotions, cleanse my body, cleanse all of that in order for me to be able to love with all my strength. Right? So, anyway. That was Jesus. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And love your neighbor as yourself. And I see, again, if in my heart there is something that God has placed that's eternal, that means that in your heart as well. And that goes back to that goes back to the conversation we were having. And pointed out that I'm doing this in the end of my videos, and I'm doing this. And yes, you see a lot of Eastern people, do that. And what I mean by that is that just in that verse, okay, I didn't know about this verse before, but I know it in my heart. In my heart, there is something that is eternal. Yeah, within me, there is something that is eternal, that is placed there by God. Same in your heart, familia. There's something in your heart that was placed by the Great Spirit that is eternal. And when I do this, I'm just saying hello from my eternal to your eternal. Hello, I'm greeting you. Beyond this, head, shoulders, knees and toes. Beyond the flesh, beyond this flesh, I want to look past. I want to go in myself, in that eternal self, and look you in the eye, past your eye into your eternal self, and I want to greet you there. I want to meet you there. If you and I meet there, God is present. And it's just the eternal, having a conversation with the eternal about the nature of the eternal. That's it. We were made in his image. He will take out the heart of stone and put in a heart of flesh and write his laws on our heart of the flesh, and then by his Spirit empower us to perform the law from a place of love for him, and subscribe to this channel and hit the like button now. That's very true, John. I love when you do that, by the way. That's funny. Yeah. So familia, where do we find our identity? That's my question is the question that I ask myself fully all the time, always, constantly is, where do I find my identity? If I find my identity in everything that is Leonardo, then my identity dies with me. Because Leonardo is temporary. The name was given to me, but before it was given to me, I was already there. I was there to receive it, which means that I am more than my name. Before I was born and in a particular country, and I was given my nationality. That nationality was given to me, but I was there to receive it, and therefore I am before my nationality, before my ideas, before my thoughts, before my concepts, before my ego, before any of that. I was there to receive all of that. And then the mind comes into it and then takes over and says, no, this is my life and I'm going to do it however I want. This is where the whole, for me, free will comes in. God says, all right, here's your free will, aka the mind. And then I say, yeah, this is my life. And my greatest, God gave me this, right? Familia, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say it as honestly as I can tell you my truth. The greatest gift that I gave God was my free will. I said, take it back. Not my will be done. Your will be done. And if it is on earth as it is in heaven, then use me. Use me. I'm sorry that I got distracted. I'm sorry that, that shiny thing. Ooh. Oh. This is nice. Oh, this experience. Cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, camera. Ooh, I've never said, ooh, a brush, because obviously I don't brush my hair. But, distractions. This world is, my senses lie to me, familia. Our senses lie to us. We see something, we want it. We hear something, we want to hear it again. We experience something, we touch things, we taste things, and we want to re-experience again and again and again. And then God's like, okay, I'll wait. Like when all the class was distracted and they were talking and the teacher goes, I'll wait. Everybody goes, oops. And then you'd be quiet, like, shh, quiet, shut up, shut up. Right? And the teacher was just being there quiet, right? So God does the same. Just like, okay, I'll just wait till you're done playing with that little camera of yours. Oh, you want to start a channel? Oh yeah, you want to start a channel about video editing? Cool, go for it. When you're ready, let me know. And then it's like, okay, all right, fine. What do you want? We're going to start a video. We're going to start a channel. It's reacting to things, and there's a community out there that we're going to come together, bring together. Don't worry about it. You just make the videos. Yeah, be still and know that I am God. That's right. So, the greatest gift that I gave God was my free will. Second, my mind. Third, my heart. And my spirit. I still struggle with the mind and the heart. Because again, I live in the world and I'm distracted. Of course, I'm distracted. Not too far though. Not too far. I don't move too far away like I used to before. But I do every once in a while distracted. Why? Because everybody demands my attention here at home, okay? They want me to fix certain things, certain issues that they're dealing with. So of course I get distracted, and then my body distracts me because I feel tension in my shoulders, tension in my neck, and then I feel tired and I'm cranky. That's me walking away, distracted. Funny, John, flip 1037 upside down and read it. 1037, flip it upside down. What does it say? Can go and press the like button and subscribe. That's right. Yes, I know, Carol. I know that the greatest gift that that God gave man was his free will. But I'm telling you, the greatest gift that you can give God is give it back, because it gives you freedom, and the freedom to say, I know what's good for me, and I know what's good for my children, and I know what's good for the world. I know. And the best thing is to say, I don't know. Here. You know. You know better than I do. You love more than I do. So, here. Take it back. all the mistakes that I made, would I do them again? Yes, I would. I don't, I'm not the type of person that says, man, if I can go back and do it again. Because familia, even if I went back and fixed one mistake, I probably wouldn't even have my 2 children. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. I wouldn't trade that for anything. If going back could potentially put at risk the existence of my 2 beautiful daughters, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't. I'd suffer through everything I suffered through all over again. I would. Have you ever used the faster scale? It's intended to help people understand where they are emotionally and avoid relapse into addictions, but I think it's a great tool just to understand what's going on. No, I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. Excuse me. God uses our mistakes and messed up lives. I thought that said livers. I'm like, oh, ouch. Messed up lives to lead us to where we need to be. Yeah, where we need to be. I think where we need to be is exactly where we are right now, familia. We're all over the world. You know, we have people here from South Africa, from the UK, Scotland, Australia, Germany, the US. I haven't run into too many people from Mexico, strangely, and that's where I'm from. It makes you who you are, Leonardo. I feel the same way. I don't regret. I learn from it. Move forward. That's right. Tacoma. See, I love the word Tacoma because it has the word taco in it. I love the channel, Leonardo. God bless you. Thank you, Ryan Brown. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Livers, cracking me up. Our messed up livers. Yeah, Brazil. You never mentioned Brazil. Yeah, Brazil. Are there people from Brazil? I don't know. Oh yeah, Namibia. Nimbo, Nimbo. I still have that song stuck in my head. I listen to it like often still. Oh, Debs is in Brazil? Really? Cool. I didn't know that. It's awesome. Tacoma. Yeah, your mom makes you tacos. Tacoma. It's funny. The great tacos. She makes great tacos. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, anyway, familia, I don't know if that's still in the topic, but familia, I'm telling you, like, atheists are just distracted. That's all. The Tower of Tacos. Ooh, a Tower of Tacos. That'd be interesting. I want, for Valentine's Day, I want heart-shaped tacos, like, just lined up one by one with salsas in the middle. But yeah, familia, the like being an atheist really is just you being distracted. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes being Christian is being distracted as well. Because sometimes I feel like some Christians are too wrapped up in the words of the Bible that they forget to experience what God is saying as well, or to put into practice the things that the Bible is instructing them to do. You know, so cough. What is it? Salsa verde. Oh man, salsa verde. Yeah. Oh, I mix salsa verde with salsa roja, by the way. It's really good. More green than red. It just adds a really nice touch to it. Yeah. So, how does it feel to be a Christian? I don't know. Are you implying that I am a Christian? Let's see, if someone is having a struggle or not sure what the purpose of life is, I like to say that you can find your life where Jesus laid his down. Oh, that's interesting. Cool. I like that. That's good. Purpose of life. I think when someone questions what their purpose in life is, what they really question is, how does my life fit into life, into all of life? Yeah. It's interesting. I had that conversation with Erika, I said, look, you love baking for a reason. Like, God put that love in your heart for a reason, and you're not doing it. So you're not following your purpose. Leonardo, have you heard Hammer No More by Hammer No More by Kronos? No, I've never even heard of Kronos. you should react to it. Please add the link in the comments below, not in the live chat, but add it in the comments below, please, so I can check that out. A friend had a revival and invited me. It was after work and I wanted to go home. They said that they had dinner before. They were having tacos. I was like, tacos and Jesus, I'm there. That's right. Somebody sent me a message from like a logo church somewhere. I think that person lives like in Temecula. And they sent me a flyer and it said free tacos at like a church event. I'm like, I don't care where it is. If there's free and tacos, I'm there. I'm like, I used to say something just funny. I used to go, wow, because food is my favorite F word. Well, my second favorite F word. And then they'd go, what's your first? And I'm like, free. Kidding me? Free food? Free is my first favorite F word. Food is my second favorite F word. I'm there. All right, familia. So, yeah, we can wrap it up. I don't know. I could take like another, I don't know. You want to talk about something else? I could talk about one more thing and then we'll head out because all this talk about tacos is making me really hungry. I had a chorizo con huevo burrito earlier today that my mother brought to me. And that's all I've had. So I want to go get some tacos. What else? So do you love Jesus? Is that a question for me? Do I love Jesus? Well, who is Jesus to me? When I hear the question, do I love Jesus? The first thing that comes to my mind is, I wonder if you're asking, do I love Jesus in the way that you love Jesus? And if that is the question, then the answer is no. But if the question is, do I love Jesus? The answer is immediately yes. And the reason why the reason why I say yes is because I love the teachings. I love listening to certain things like what he taught about love and what he taught about forgiveness and acceptance. And I like how he just like there's some pictures of him like just like flipping over a table and like yelling. And I like that version too. I don't know why, but there's like people that are running away. They're like, there's like money being thrown or something. And they're like people like afraid. And Jesus just like, ah, like yeet. You know, do I love Jesus? Yes, I love Jesus, and I love that Jesus as well. But I don't know how this is going to sound, but not enough to call myself a Christian. And what turns me away from calling myself a Christian is what the different connotations, images that come with the word Christian, because to me, it's a spectrum, right? There's all kinds. There's loving Christ-like. There's the Christ-like Christian. And then there's the God hates homosexuals Christians that I'm just like not with, you know, like, or just the God hates that I'm not with. So, so yeah, it's become somewhat of a tainted word. And John, Daniel, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Daniel Rodriguez. Thank you. As John pointed out, that the word Christian started off like sort of as a negative term for Christians, like, oh, there goes that Christian. And then eventually Christians just accepted it. And, you know, like I said, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it for good. So you guys use it as that. But there are just too many different things that I think are negatively attached to it that I would rather not, you know, like not call myself that. So are you a Christian? I'm not. I'm not a Christian. Do I like the Christian teachings? Yes. Do I enjoy listening to some sermons? Yes, I enjoy all of that. But when it comes to when I think Christian, familia, when I think Christian, I think religion. And when I think of religion, I think of rules and regulations and terms and conditions and fine print and things that you can and cannot do. And when I think of that, I just think of like too much control in the hands of another human being. And for some reason, Jesus and God just becomes sort of watered down, if you will. for me. And so that's why I don't call myself a Christian. Too many religious Christians out there. Yeah, so there's that. But, I thank you all for showing me another side of that, for showing me the other side of Christianity, which is, being loving and accepting and kind and for coming together the way that you have, and for being so careful, in other words, full of care, like checking up on me, messaging me privately and asking me if I'm doing well, being concerned for me, telling me that you're going to pray for me without making me feel dirty, without making me feel, like I'm doing something bad. Because there's that, hey, I'm going to pray for you so that everything goes well. And then there's I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for your soul, type of deal. So, so there's that. Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you for not being that. And yes, there are people who are that, but I love them. I love them either way, because that's what's written in my heart, familia, and that's what's written in all your hearts as well. Love is written in your hearts. I don't mean to get cheesy, but it is. It is. Made in the image of, right? God is love. Therefore, you are love. The New Testament Christians were called those who followed the way. Yeah, followers of the way. That's what John was mentioning to me before. I like that. I actually would feel more comfortable calling myself that than calling myself a Christian, to be honest. And then I don't know. There's just other things that come with like if you call yourself a Christian, you have to follow these. You have to do these things, right? One, the salvation prayer, I think is what Anne called it earlier. We were talking about that earlier. Confessing and all that. And I don't know. I feel like I took a road that was meant for me specifically. I'm not saying that I bypassed all of that or anything like that. I just I'm very comfortable with the relationship that I have with the Great Spirit currently, and as Jesus and with Jesus as my brother, sort of like that big brother that the Father says, hey, watch that. Watch. You see what he's doing? You see what he's doing? Your brother is a good example of what pleases me, what makes me happy. So watch him. And then I just go, okay, cool. Jesus, what are you doing? Oh, cool. You're loving people? Cool. Let's go online and love people. Oh, what are you doing? You're accepting people? Yeah, let's go online and accept people. Like, what are you doing? Oh, cool. You're forgiving people? Okay, cool. Let's go online and forgive people. Light up some lanterns, familia. So, so there's that. There's nothing wrong with. I don't think that there's anything wrong. I mean, no harm with not wanting to call myself a Christian. And there's nothing wrong with calling yourself a Christian either. I just, that's all. That's all, familia. The sinner's prayer. Yeah. God has the action, God has the action, not the person. Yeah, it's true. So there's that, familia. I hope that we learned a couple of things. By we, I mean me too. I learned a lot from you all here tonight as well, and I hope that we're open to listening to some atheists or non-believers, people who are hurt, and remember that they're hurt. Keep your lantern on, and wait for them to want to be lit up. They will. They eventually will. And when you do, just open your heart to them and love them. Yeah, Mary says the English language doesn't have different levels of love, so I use agape to explain real love I have experienced. Yeah, there is. Yeah, you're right. There's no like actual words, I guess you could say, to explain the different levels of love, because we've also the same thing with the word love. We have watered it down because we say things like, oh, I love shooting my gun, or oh, I love, like even someone who's probably out there hurting people. I love hurting other people. I love making people feel low. And so they use the word love as that, but that's not love, right? That's not real love. That's something else. And they hijacked the word love, just like I think even the word Christianity has been hijacked as well to mean something else. So All right, familia. Is there anything that I can do to make these conversations, I don't know, more valuable to you? Would you all be open to having, maybe rather than having this once a week, to having it twice a week? Maybe like on a Friday and maybe a Tuesday or something like that. If there is, let me know. And then submit, you can submit questions, or if you want to bring up, it doesn't have to be a question. It could just be hey, this is a situation that I've been experiencing, and then I can touch on that. If you want to do it, you can message it on Discord, and then I can just touch on the topic, on the subject, if you don't want your name to be out there, if you don't want to ask on the live chat. Jeline says, one is good. How about if we did two? You're more than welcome to just join one. How about that? And it won't be every week, twice a week, but I'll see if maybe we can at least, have more conversations like this. I think so we can invite even atheists or non-believers to join, or just to watch even. And the fact that I don't call myself a Christian, I think is enough to let them put their guard down and say, okay, he's not a Christian, so I'll listen a little bit and see what's going on. Even once a week is too much? Really, One World? Why, you don't like these conversations, One World? Oh, I'm sorry, One World. Yeah, well, I enjoy these conversations, and I see that other people are enjoying the conversations. You like other subjects. Okay, what other subjects do you like? Should we have a Taco About It Tuesday? We just talk about tacos? The whole thing is just about tacos? Yeah, Elvia, yeah, those who need it will show up, yeah. What will happen with the site? You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right. But, again, One World, that's something that I asked myself earlier. And that was a concern of mine, trust me. But for some reason, I'm guided to do this. Unless we take it to another channel. Maybe we take it to the other channel that I have. But who knows? What would happen? I think what he's saying is, what would happen to this site? Because we have, we're doing reaction videos, and now we're having these types of conversations in the same channel. But I don't see an issue, since it's mostly Christian music that I'm doing anyway. So the other channel that I have here, I'll see if I can get the link and then add it. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. One World Music. I'm making improvements to this one too for the reaction videos. I'm working on a way of making these reaction videos more what's the word I'm looking for? Practical for me to make? Oh, no, not practical. Effective? No. I don't know the word I'm looking for. But here, let me see if I can get the link to the other. Oh, it's youtube.com/Tower of Torres. That's the other channel where I'm doing journaling, and what else am I doing on that channel? Let's see. I'm gonna add the link right now. Boom, there's the link right there. There's a link right there. So where is it? Okay, here I am. Sorry, I got lost a little bit. So yeah, there's that. There's the other channel where I'm doing other stuff. But are you going to do covers? Covers? What do you mean by covers? Other people who are covering, or me cover some songs? I want to do that. I do want to do that. One of the biggest challenges for me, has been my schedule. I haven't had time to practice guitar or do anything else because I've been making the videos for this channel. But this last week, I've been ahead at least by a day. And so my goal is to be ahead by a week so that I can work on other things, in a couple of days between, so I won't fall too far behind, and I can work on things like covering some songs and then recording them and posting them and all of that. So, all right, familia. So I'll just leave you all with that. Thank you so much for joining me. I will think about a different topic or something else that we can talk about with regards to the former atheist segment. And your sparrows, yes, my cover of sparrows coming soon. And I've been saying that, but it is definitely coming soon because I'm back on schedule. I'm ahead of my schedule now, which is great. And we'll do that. So, familia, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for not making fun of my hair. Thank you for being so welcoming of my hair. Don't forget to send me tacos through the mail. Oh, I wish I could, but I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna smell the tacos, open up the box, eat them, and then they'll never make them. They'll never make it to you. Yes, that was perfect. I can put my alarms when I know the times. Yes, yeah. So yeah. Also, scheduling has been perfect because I know some of you wake up in the middle of the night to join me. I kind of feel bad a little bit about that because I don't want to do that to you, but the fact that you do it, I'm grateful for that. So, yes, familia, thank you so much for joining me. Saying goodbye, that's the hardest part. These talks are very helpful. They're deep. They're enjoyable. They also require your energy. Follow your heart. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for that. Have you heard Toby Mac's new song? I have not heard Toby Mac's new song. I did a cover by, I did a reaction video to Toby Mac featuring NF, and it got blocked. Even though I checked it beforehand, because I checked it, I uploaded it to see if it was going to be blocked, and it wasn't blocked. So then I recorded the video, I posted it, and then it was blocked. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I don't know how other people get to upload it without being blocked, but we'll see. But yeah. So yeah, do a countdown. Okay, yeah, that's the easiest way. Thank you, Elvia, actually for reminding me. The countdown is actually the easiest way that I can do it. So 10. I'll do countdown and then I'll read some more and then keep counting. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. That's right. 9. Let's see. 10,000. I did that to Elise earlier today. She's like, countdown before we had our talk, and I said 10,999. She's like, you're killing me. Go where the Great Spirit pushes you. Yes. 8. No, you hang up. That's right. It's funny. What number was I on? I was on 8, so 7. What else? 6. Yes, can't wait to hear your music, Leo. Thank you, Prue. 5. Did I say 6? No, let's go back to 6 because I don't know if I did 6. 6. I have something to send you, Norma. Send it. I don't know if you're talking to me or not. What number was I on? 5. Nice talking to you, Elise. Yeah, thank you. Nice talking to you too. 4. 6.5. That's right. Oh man, it's funny. So thank you for joining. Mama Bear, thank you. Love you. Roxana, thank you so much for joining us. Julene, thank you. John, thank you. 333. Kathy Hutchins, have a great evening, Leo and family. Thank you. You have a great evening too. Can you follow me on Instagram, Wolf Den Films? Send me a friend request on Instagram. If you already sent one, unsend it and send it again so I can see you, and I'll follow you back. Let's see who else. Scan at 9. Pray for me. We're praying for you, Mary. Thank you so much. You joined us on Discord, right? Yeah, I think you said you joined us on Discord. We'll have the whole Discord team pray for you. Let's see. Take melatonin. Blanca. Okay. I don't know if that was directed at me, but let's see. 333. We got a lot of 333s coming up here. 6.00034. Jolene, you're killing me. I forgot what number I was on. 3, I think. So, yeah, Scott, 7. I think we're on 2 now. 2. 1. I'm going to hang up. If you know Adam Sandler, do you know where that's from? I'm going to hang up. Hello? Hello? I'm going to hang up. You first. No, you first. Oh, we got Pi, 3.14. Gotta go. Keep looking, Leo, and keep posting, bro. Thank you, Galaxy Child. Thank you. Have a good weekend. 1. Join late. What's all the numbers about? We're actually saying goodbye. We're counting down to saying goodbye. But this will still be up for you to watch again if you're interested. Thank you all so much. I already did it just now. Okay, cool. I'll follow you. What is it? What's your handle? Polaris Wolf Texas. Oh, right there, bam. Follow back. I gotcha. All right, countdown for goodbye. Okay, so now I got to count down for a goodbye. All right, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 3. All right, everybody. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other and to yourselves. First, be kind to yourself, and then be kind to others, and then eat some tacos. Okay?